B-side. Think records, music, round, vinyl. There's two sides to every record. The main side with the hit and the B-side. When vinyl records were in their heyday, the B-side always seemed to have those particular little gems. And when you're young and stumble upon a discovery like that, it feels like the world is full of wonder, surprise. See, you bought the record for the hit, but flipped it over, and then you got a song you didn't think you'd get. And it felt like a dream you weren't supposed to have. A track that was off track. That's my life. I'm a B-side man. Growing up, I didn't smoke, drink, cuss, party. My sensitive proclivities were front and center. My mother gave me a journal, and I love retreating into that interior world where feelings become thoughts and vice versa. I followed rules, said my prayers, and when I didn't say my prayers, I felt sad for the whole world. My mom taught high school English. My father worked for the post office. My mother, she could dole out positive affirmations that worked just as good for an axe murderer or her only beloved son. She'd say, you cannot control anybody else's behavior. You can only control your own. And my father, he'd make a simple suggestion sound like one of the 10 commandments. He'd go, a well-behaved young man would never allow his mother to do dishes. Or a young man who took pride in himself always kept a clean room. In my family, I saw respect daily. Most especially, I was taught to respect girls and women. I didn't want to do bad things. Bad things were for bad kids. Doing bad would bring a wrong equation to my mother and father. Back in the late 60s in Baltimore City, we had ourselves some riots. And if you know a little recent Baltimore City history, you know that the more things change, the more they say the. Anyway, we heard about a lot about Black people rioting, but nobody I knew wanted to go riot. Too much Catholic upbringing to riot. Besides, what if it was a sunny day outside? What if my buddies wanted to have a wiffle ball championship? We wanted to play ball, go to movies, parks. We wanted the kind of fun bad kids could only dream about. Like that time me, Mark, and David were taking the bus home from school. David started talking about this cute girl he went to see the night before, but the girl's father had come to the door. Son, what are you doing ringing my doorbell, trying to see my daughter after 9 o'clock on a school night? Aroof, aroof. So here's David giving his opinion about the girl's father. Now remember, I didn't cuss, but Mark and David sure did. That crusty old Mary Franklin got all up in my face. I should have asked that Mary Franklin, do we know who we dealing with? I should have told that crusty old Mary Franklin out of the blue, seat directly in front. That same crusty old Mary Franklin was now turning the blank around. Yeah, that was me. Somebody should have yelled, incoming, incoming, because even though there was just words, that girl's dad proceeded to bombard David's ass. Boom, 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 boom. David's whole upper torso was bobbing like a bobblehead. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I apologize. It won't happen again. Yes, sir. I apologize. It won't happen again. And worse, the whole bus was on Dad's side. They were laughing, screaming, yeah, Pops, preach on his ass, Pops. Just laughing, screaming. Me and Mark, all we could do was put on that Scooby-Doo roof. Ain't with us, please. David looked like the most embarrassed man in the history of embarrassed men. We all glanced at each other. We knew we got to get the hell off of this bus. So there we are getting off nowhere near our stop. We just fell off the bus laughing. We just kept falling and laughing and falling. And we were down on the sidewalk. People staring at us, flailing around, looking like little snow angels. David finally said, what are the odds? The the same bus. The same bus. Lordy, I thought that was the most fun I would ever have in my life. We all went to the same Catholic high school. One day, standing in line, cafeteria lady said, "You niggas is all the same. You can never make up your minds about anything." All hell broke loose. We didn't have a lot of black students at my school, but we got everybody involved, parents, administration. We rectified the situation. The cafeteria lady never saw it coming. After it was over, administration realized that even though we were few in number, we'd spoken with a pretty loud voice. Right there. Maybe that was our riot. I was pretty sure the civil rights movement had been a victory, only nobody bothered to tell us. Regardless how many thumbs down you get from folks today, trust me, we won that bitch. Nowadays, all you hear is that we're still facing impossible odds, barriers, hurdles, obstacles. Oh, hell, that's a cave nobody can climb out of. Cafeteria lady didn't define us. That was a sideshow, not a main attraction. Our parents had already done so much, already come so far. They didn't expect us to stay stuck on stupid. I went to a small college in Vermont. I took a train to New England in early fall. Saw fall like I'd never seen before. Leaves, colors, mountains, space. Like outdoors like I'd never seen. But everybody was just so beholding to nature. I couldn't get on board. My vision was small. Nature was just too vast. So I ran contrary. In Vermont, girls wore combat boots, long denim skirts all the way down to China, and looked like Amish gypsies. Imagine Tinkerbell and a pair of Doc Martens slogging through the Black Forest, searching for a Dutch oven and a barn to raise. And some unspoken law said women in Vermont must make pottery. In Vermont, boys roll their own cigarettes and dress like poetic lumberjacks. Imagine scruffy ponytail, linguistic anti-heroes with a passion for flannel and just the right touch of plaid. Post-Woodstock, Vermont had everybody jumping into personal freedom, space, individuality, focusing on yourself. What could be more pure than that? And I later found out them lumberjacks weren't rolling no cigarettes. Freshman year, first week, a professor walks over. You look like a writer. Do you keep a journal? At that very moment, my future money-making potential took a nosedive. I started to embrace the esoteric concept that my own thinking and writing were far superior to the cold logic of math and science. Later on, same year, a drama professor said, "With your dialogue, you really should be writing plays." Well, Sophocles, playwright, Magdaddy of Greek theater, go on and start writing you some plays, making yourself some drama. Math and science. Screw them. Thinking and writing could take down numbers and nature. I was riding that wave, and then something happened. Freshman year, I became a nude model for an art class. At least I told myself it was for an art class. How did it happen? Glad you asked. I glanced in the mirror one night. Boy, you went up and got yourself handsome. My mother was, well, she didn't share the same enthusiasm. Nude, head to toe? Yes, I know what artistic means. Right now, it just means naked in art class. Yes, I still love you very much. I love you more with your clothes on. Please do not tell your father. The end.